my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, then welcome to my channel, and in today's video, we will once again be reading 3 random manga series, which is when I go to the Viz and K-Manga reading apps, go to all series, and just scroll without looking until I land on something. We're going to be doing 2 series from Viz and 1 from K-Manga. I'm going to be reading the first 10 chapters of whatever series that is, which on that note, let's go ahead and get the K-Manga series first. I would love to get something very summery and fun and good. I landed on a series called Missions of Love. It is a romance, a shoujo, and an award winner. Cell phone novelist Yukina Himuro has decided that in order to satisfy her fans' demand for love stories, she must experience a romance firsthand. But with her icy reputation, how can she find someone willing to play the part of boyfriend? By blackmailing the most popular boy in school, of course. There's 148 chapters total. It looks like I can unlock all that I need to with tickets, and it looks like the chapters have parts to them, which means I will be reading more than I expected to. So I will be going to Mission 10 too, unless I absolutely fall in love with it and want to read more. As of right now, based on the thumbnail up at the top, I'm slightly nervous. I'm pretty unfamiliar with this series, and by that I mean entirely, but we'll see how it goes. And now let's go ahead and get our final 2 series from Viz. Okay, so it looks like we are actually going to be making a return to Yokai Watch in this video. This was a series that I landed on, I think maybe the second time that I did this kind of video. I read the first 10 chapters of it. We're going to be reading another 10 of them. It was fine. I liked it. I remember it being very episodic, so the amount that I enjoyed it kind of just depended on what they were doing. But yeah, I definitely didn't hate this the first time around, and I feel like there are much worse things I could have landed on. Go ahead and get the last one now. Okay, so this is a romance drama called Backstage Prince. Again, entirely unfamiliar with it. It does look a little bit like an old school shoujo series, and my only description says love blossoms backstage, so that's all I got. Which I just remembered I never read off the description for Yokai Watch, but join Nate and his friends as he befriends the yokai of the hit video game Yokai Watch. Okay, so those are the series that we are going to be reading in this video, and I will see you again once I have done that and I have my reviews. Okay, I am back. It's been a time. And yeah, let's just go ahead and start this off. We're going to start with Missions of Love. And this follows our main character, who is a cell phone novelist. Her fans really want a love story, but in order to write one, she feels as though she must have first-hand experience with love, and with her icy reputation, finding somebody is going to be difficult. So she blackmails the most popular boy in school into the part of playing her boyfriend. I ended up reading through part 2 of Mission 10 for this series, which for most other series would mean that I've read about 16 chapters, and there's just so much to talk about with this, and I honestly just feel like I need to rant, so here we go. So let's start with the blackmail. It makes the main relationship difficult to begin with because she is ordering him to do things, and consent is a thing that is important, which also makes it difficult to get into and like her character as a whole. She also has this thing with her glasses that comes up a lot and why they're important to her, and how they help her stay at the distance that she wants from others. It's interesting. Like, I think her backstory and childhood trauma were what I got the most out of this series here, but I do think that the way that the manga talks about her glasses is a little bit confusing, because she'll say something like, people won't look at me, but we see them looking at you. You're known as the Snow Queen, and you're the Snow Queen because of the glaring, and the glasses aren't helping with that, and your mom gave you the glasses because the doctor says that glaring means that you might not be able to see well, but it doesn't necessarily seem like the glasses have any effect on the glaring or her eyesight, or if it does, the manga doesn't really go into it at all, at least in the chapters that I've read of it so far, and there have been opportunities for it. Now him, on the other hand, he plays the role of the perfect guy throughout the school, and he's actually awful. Like, that is his true nature. It fully comes out when he's around her. They're both on some level a tsundere too, I think. But the series also has like this battle between the two of them, like she's threatening to expose him for the person he really is, and he's trying to get back at her. He takes her glasses, stuff like that. And it's not entertaining in a cat and mouse, everyone sucks here kind of way. And I do think that there may be a version of this concept that works in like an early Kaguya-sama type of way, or in I want to end this love game type of way, but this is neither of those, so yeah. And it also gradually changes from that to more of a tsundere love triangle. And now let's get into that, shall we? Because the other guy is her cousin. Not like a cousin, I love you like a boyfriend. That is an actual quote. There's also a line in there about originally not being sure about what kind of love that it was, but it is in fact more than just a cousin. Yeah, I will not be going near this series again after this video. I will give it this. It wasn't boring. I flew through these chapters. I also do think her cell phone novel both looked and sounded good. I low-key want to read it, but yeah, that's it. we're moving on. And we are moving on to Backstage Prince, and this follows our main character who gets thrown into the world of kabuki theater and spends her time after school assisting a famous actor who is also a student at her high school, and known as the Prince of Kabuki. This was shorter than I thought it would be. Like, I was able to read the whole thing, which was cool, and it was also different than I thought it would be. I was expecting a much longer getting together period here, like that's what I thought the series was going to be, but it happens very quickly, and the rest is just like established relationship teenage drama. And my main complaint about the series is the pacing of them getting together. I feel like they barely knew each other. I barely knew them. I barely knew or understood their dynamic. And when it happened, it felt like it just kind of came out of nowhere, honestly. Like, it happened that fast. And that made the rest of the angst and the drama hard to get into, and it is very teenage angst when it comes to the conflicts and just really when it comes to their dynamic as a whole. And I'm not really saying that as a critique either. I think high school me would have loved this series. But it is a lot of insecurity, jealousy, not properly communicating at times, family drama, and also how their relationship is affected by his fame and his status, which again would have been better and a lot more fun without the insta-love. Her dynamic is also very ordinary girl and angsty, mean to everybody but her guy. And I thought that she has some charming and silly moments that I really like. The whole thing is just very shoujo. It has its cute moments. I'm not mad at it. Like, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I thought it was fine. And now we have Yokai Watch, which follows our main character Nate. He's an ordinary boy. He couldn't be more ordinary until he encounters and befriends a yokai who gives him a watch, and from there he sets out to befriend more yokai. So I read chapters 11 to 24 of this series, which is the rest of volume 2 and then all of volume 3. And that is a little bit more of this series than I originally planned to read, but because I read 2 volumes of Missions of Love and Backstage Prince, I don't know, it just felt fair to read 2 of these, and it felt satisfying to see them listed on Storygraph with like 2 volumes each. And yeah, my review of this series really hasn't changed since the first time that I talked about it. It's very episodic. The amount that I enjoyed it really depended on what they were doing and what the storyline was for that chapter. I will say, after reading the other 2 series, it felt really nice to be reading something like this. It's light, it's silly, it's kind of mindless to read, and I enjoyed that. I do think that this series does work better with like shorter, quicker chapters for me. Like, there were some 30-page ones in here where the battles did kind of drag for me. I got kind of bored, but Nate did bring out more than just the cat for a few of them, which was something that I talked about in the first video, and it was nice to see the series do something different and reference itself and bring back some of the previous yokai. It makes things come together a little bit more for me, makes the chapters feel less separate from one another, and also just more important. Don't get me wrong, the cat's still there, and there are now ancestors and like reskins of him now because his design is popular, which I do understand. Like, he's the mascot, I enjoy him, it's a great design. And he also is strategizing some now. Is it everything that I want or everything that I think this series could be? No, but it doesn't have to be either. And yeah, that's about it. I can't necessarily see myself seeking out this series on my own, but if I do happen to land on it for a 3rd time, I still won't be mad. Okay, so that is all of them. My favorite of the 3 was definitely Yokai Watch, followed by Backstage Prince, and then Missions of Love. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and answer the question that'll be around here if you want to do that, and hopefully I will see you here next time. Bye.